Hello and welcome to Module 1 training video. The learning targets are as follow. I can install the latest smart notebook software onto my computer. I can connect my computer to my smart board station. I can orient or calibrate my board so it lines up with my finger and pen. And I can take steps to get my board to work when it's connected properly but not functioning. Let's begin. The first thing to be sure of is that you have Smart Notebook 15 installed on your computer. If you've got Smart Notebook 11, that's the old version. Let's make sure we get you the new version. You can find that in the Software Center. The quickest way I know is to go to the Start menu, just start typing. Software Center will auto-complete and it will open up your Software Center. Now, in the search bar, this is where you're going to type in Smart. And you'll see a couple of results. The first thing to get is the Smart Notebook Advantage 2015. You make sure it's highlighted, tap Install or click Install, and let the rest take care of itself. Later, you can get the Smart Notebook Advantage document camera integration. That will enable you to use your document camera, your Ladybug, through the notebook software without having to pull up the Ladybug software. Once the installation is complete, you should have Smart Notebook 15 on your desktop. Looks like this. Another way to find it is through the Start screen. If I just type in Smart, you'll see a lot of different applications, but the first one to pop up is that Smart Notebook 15. Do make sure you have 15 and not the old version 11. Okay, so let's hook this thing up. You can see my laptop here already has one cord in it, and that's the power cord. But I also need these two cords here. This is your USB cable and your HDMI cable. The USB goes into an available USB port in my computer, and the other side goes into the USB port in the wall. Now, this is an older breakout box, so there are a lot of different options. The newer breakout boxes just have USB and HDMI. I'll take my HDMI cable and put it into the HDMI port in my computer, and put the other side into the HDMI port in the wall. Now, you may not have an HDMI port. Alternately, you may have what's called a VGA cable that's connecting your computer to your projector and your smart board. That's what this looks like, and just like the HDMI, it'll go one end into the computer and then the other end into the old style breakout box or the long VGA cable that you've gotten. Now that we're all hooked up, let's get it up and running. Turn on or wake up your computer and either use the remote or a long arm to turn on your BenQ. Notice there is no on switch to the board itself. It remains plugged in and ready to initiate once it feels the connection of the computer and the projector. Upon starting up your connected computer and your BenQ, you should have an image of your computer as well as a glowing white light on the tray here. We'll get to what to do if it's not glowing and steadily showing a white light. The first thing you want to do, it's a good idea to calibrate your board. Now, you'll notice the button on the far right of the tray looks like a crosshair. When I press it, a screen comes up that allows me to calibrate the board. Eventually. Okay, so directions say press center of target and release. Notice here's my first one, second one, third one, and fourth one. Okay, so that will just enable that my finger is tracking correctly and it's where I think it should be on the board. Okay, let's check in with our learning targets real quick. So far we've installed the latest Smart Notebook software on your computer. Remember, that's from the Software Center and it's called Smart Notebook 15 or 2015. We've connected the computer to the smart board station. Remember, that's with the HDMI or VGA cord that carries the video signal, as well as the USB cable. Now we've just oriented or calibrated the board. That's where I was touching the diamonds on each corner of the screen. So let's figure out how to take steps to get your board to work when it's connected right, but it's not functioning, basically troubleshooting. The first thing I want to mention is the keyboard command Windows P. Now you can think P stands for project, because this basically toggles the different output options for the way that the computer is going to send a signal to the projector. So if I hold down the Windows button and hit P, I'll get a little side menu that shows me where I'm at. So duplicate is usually the default mode computers go into when connected to a projector, and that works fine with the Smart Board. Notice we see the exact same thing on either screen. Extend mode is nice for when you want to show something different on the screen than you have on your laptop. And it doesn't work with the Smart Board though. You can see if I try to touch the board here, it will actually think I'm touching that there, and it's great for displaying something but not interacting with the board. If I hit Windows P again, I'll get that menu, and let me go to second screen only. Second screen only means it's only going to show out of the projector and not from the PC screen. But you will notice that it plays nice with the Smart Board. Second screen only is a fine mode to be in. Now the troubleshooting comes in when maybe my computer for some reason decides to be on PC screen only. Well, now it seems like it's not working. I see my image here, I see nothing here. So the first thing I'm going to try is Windows P, and just to make sure I'm on duplicate. And that was my issue. Now when everything is hooked up properly, we should notice this white glowing light. Whether the projector is on or not, this light glowing and not blinking means that everything is A-OK. Of course, when it's blinking, that means there's some issue with the connection. The first troubleshooting step to try when this light is blinking, and of course you'll notice the board will not behave the way it's supposed to, is to pull the power cord out of the Smart Board. There's no on-off switch, so the only way to power down the board is to actually pull the cord. Now, it's right down here. It's actually the left of the leftmost of the three cords, and I'm going to go ahead and pull it. Now, let me give you a little closer look of what that looks like. Now, under my tray, I have 3 different plugs in a row. The power is this one here. The one on the left also has the elbow instead of a cord that just comes straight out. The one in the middle is the USB. Pulling the power is the same as pulling that, so you don't really need to mess with that, and don't need to mess with the one on the right either. Now, the funny thing is, when you pull that, you've actually got to wait about half a minute before plugging it back in for it to have any real effect. Why this is needed in it at all, of course, is the big question, but I do find that this will often fix the issue. Now, if you've tried unplugging the power, leaving it for 30 seconds, and then plugging it back in, and it's still not working, either the light is blinking or not showing at all, then you want to verify that your Smart System menu is running. Now, you can look in this little triangle. This is part of your notification area. You should see a blue square with a white circle. I call it the donut. If you don't see it there, or as one of these icons, then we need to launch it. It's something that should launch itself automatically when you start up the computer, but I've noticed it doesn't always do that. So I'm going to go to my start screen, type in Smart, and we'll see it right here, Smart System menu. I can go ahead and tap it. Won't really change a thing. It was already running, but that's how you would start it up if it weren't running. Now, if it's still not working, then go ahead and click on the icon, whether or not you see it there, or you might see it there. Go ahead and click on that and go to Smart Settings. Now, within Smart Settings, I want to direct you to the Connection Wizard. The Connection Wizard actually works sometimes, so we're going to use it. Often these wizards don't give us much luck, but this one will. Of course, the board is working fine, so there's no question. But notice it did find the Smart Board. It's an M600. You can verify that up there. It says M600. So I can tap on that, click Next. It says it's good to go, so we already knew that. but that's something to try if it's not working. And with that, we've finished our last learning target. Remember, in this order, the steps to get your board working. First, we made sure we are in duplicate mode. That was by hitting the Windows P command on your keyboard. Then we pulled the power cable out from underneath the tray, let it sit for about 30 seconds, then plugged it in. If it still didn't work, we verified that our Smart System menu was running, and we launched it from the start screen if it was not running. Once that was launched, we went to Smart Settings and did the connection wizard. Please take the quiz that you'll find in Module 1.